people think that you can, and he will as a foundationalist, that you in some sense can be justified. What did he say? He says it's not a proof, but then that justifies you believing in all these other things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that pretends that you can approach those things without theory contamination, without your ideas and biases contaminating the actual experiences.
Yeah, I mean, this is the point that none of the beliefs that we have are actually properly basic from this perspective. In other
Yes.
words, it's assuming that certain things are properly basic. We're asking, how do you know that? And the appeal is, well, but they're foundational and basic, right? Because they underlie the experience. There's no way to prove them, so they're properly basic. Well, then how do we know that they're the case? Well, we don't.
If you
Notice that Craig
remember,
said that. Craig said that we don't even, we can't prove that there is the external world, which is a very bizarre admission for a person trying to argue for theism and creation and the resurrection of Christ. I mean, couldn't I, as an atheist, say, "Oh, okay, I agree. It's all a simulation, Dr. Craig, and yes, Jesus resurrected in the simulation that you think is the real world, right?" So I agree with you, Dr. Craig. There is no proof of the external world. We live in a simulation, and Jesus is part of that simulation.
here, do you want to hear my argument against? So I call this the argument from arbitrariness. This is, you give this to any of your foundationalist friends. Kids, you got foundationalist friends? Give them this argument here. Sort of along the lines that Billy Craig was saying, that there's properly basic beliefs, such that a person's properly basic belief that P is justified, although there's no further reasons. Didn't he admit that? You can start with that as properly basic and you reason up. There's no other further reasons behind that. However, if there's no other further reasons behind that that make it slightly any better for that person to believe P rather than any of P's contraries. And since admittedly there are no reasons behind that,
Yeah.
there's no reason to have P be a properly basic belief for
Yes.
you as opposed to not P.
Exactly.
Therefore,
That's a great
foundations is
argument.
false.
Yeah. Here's the list that we have, and one of Father Deacon's there applies to that properly basic, right? Myth of the given. This argument assumes that some objects just have a givenness to them, a wholly present nature to them. That through your sense data, you just have this one-to-one kind of correspondence that objects are as they are presented.